Berea College news.
In our top story tonight, the college has recently found itself in a lawsuit. Former Berea professor Dave Porter is suing the college for wrongful termination and a slew of other grievances. Our reporter, Brett Arthur, asked the student body for their opinions on the matter.
What started out as a regular academic survey quickly turned to be a PR nightmare, as now former Berea College professor Dave Porter would soon find out. Originally part of a psychology course Dave was teaching, the survey contained sensitive information from Title VII and Title IX claims that threw the campus into an uproar. After a few posts were made in the Berea College's closed Facebook group, the story spread like wildfire, causing the administration to take immediate action. Unfortunately for Professor Porter, this ended in his termination, a controversial move considering he was a tenured professor. I asked around campus to see who was willing to talk to me, and some of the answers might surprise you.
I would say it has less to do with academic freedom and more to do with actually whether he was allowed to get fired. If he wasn't allowed to get fired, I mean, then that is grounds to sue, no matter what he did.
Well, I think that because he sent the survey that has been regarded as being potentially breaching privacy of other faculty members to a committee for review, and they passed it through, then I think he was following all regulation, and it was unfair that they fired him when he had tenure and had been following all the rules.
Others preferred to voice their comments anonymously. Quote, I think what Professor Porter did was wrong. He shouldn't have been able to disclose information like that, especially to the entirety of campus. Some of those issues were very sensitive and were supposed to remain private. I don't exactly agree with him being fired, but I understand that something had to be done. End quote. To learn more information about Dave's side of the story, go to davesfsc.com for more information. We here at Berea College News will keep you informed as this case develops.
We reached out to both college administrators and Professor Porter for a comment, but neither party responded.
A little over a month ago, the Harlan County coal mine stopped production as miners blocked a train full of coal in protest. This comes after the mining company, Black Jewel, went bankrupt and left the miners without pay. We go to our reporter Lane Hinton for more.
The only statement that I really have to state is since day one, delay our pay will delay your trains. And we are not going to stop until we get paid.
Coal mining has a long history, and with that also comes the long history of coal mine strikes.
So even back before the Civil War and shortly after the Civil War, there were coal strikes. One of the first kind of famous groups was the Molly Maguires. They were on strike because of the horrible working conditions in the mines, so that it has long been seen as the most dangerous of all occupations.
Working in awful conditions with no safety nets or protection caused many miners to fight back, sometimes violently, and this led to the unpleasant nickname of Bloody Harlan.
You know, like in the old days, you know, they call it Bloody Harlan for a reason. You know, back in the day, you know, everybody did their thing, you know, the same thing we're doing today. But the difference was between then and now, we're being calm and cool. We don't, you know, like I've told several news reporters, we don't intend no harm. We're just here trying to get what's rightfully owned to us.
Even though this protest isn't a violent one, these people are still fighting back against a company that cares more about their money than their miners.
Because the government is so supported and supportive of big coal, the industry is able to renege on so many promises. For example, what's going on right now in Harlan.
They had worked, I believe, for a month, and it went bankrupt over the 4th of July weekend, right? And so when I went and talked to them, I asked them about the situation, and they said that they had gotten paid, like their vacation pay and all that, and there were families that were actually on vacation at the beach with their kids, like had booked a hotel, all this stuff, and then come the weekend, or come Monday, all that money's taken out of their account, and they're thousands of dollars, like, in debt.
I actually started in October, and my last day was July 1st. And actually, on the 4th of July, we had a daughter that was born and made our 6th child, and they actually withdrew my money on the 5th.
So a lot of times there's not support for a strike. A lot of times people who don't understand the working conditions or don't understand all of the sacrifices that miners make or made in order to do that work will tell them you should just go back to work.
Now, it may seem like a simple solution to go back to work or go find a different job, but for many of these miners, coal is all they know, and they take a lot of pride in being coal miners.
People who are miners tend to be really proud that they're miners. They're proud that their fathers were miners. My dad was a coal miner. I'm proud of that. It means something to me. It means he was a powerful person who was willing to do what it took to raise his family. And so when we think about coal miners, that still today, that's who they are. They're going into those situations because they want their families to have a better life, or because they want their families to have things they need, and maybe not only things they need, but also things they want. And so these are tough people who are doing this work.
That's what I'm good at. I've been doing it since I was 20 years old. I mean, that's all I know. That's all I know. I can't help it. Money's good. And I mean, the camaraderie's good. I mean, when you get used to a bunch of fellas and stuff like that, they become your family. Especially when you spend that much time with them.
Coal supports my family. It's supported my family for 4 generations. I'm a 4th generation coal miner. And I'm hoping that someday my kids might be a coal miner. All these men sitting here around me, they're all coal miners.
I'm going to do everything I can.
We all support the same thing. That's what put food on our tables.
This strike doesn't just affect the miners. It affects their families as well as the communities that they live in. And this community, specifically in Harlan, has really been there and supported these miners and provided them hope. And that may just be the factor that helps these miners get through this protest.
When we started this, we didn't expect this to be this. We thought we're going to get an interview and then it's going to be done. But it's just growing and growing and growing.
When we turn on our lights, we have to remember that somebody dug that coal out of the mountain that turns those lights on. And whether we believe in coal or not, somebody's still doing it today. And they are still putting their lives in danger. Now, in this current strike, it sounds like that the community is extremely supportive. And I know that they're getting food and supplies and just support from a wide variety of people, and I think that's going to be instrumental in making this successful.
And so whenever I went down there, I was thinking everybody's going to be angry and fighting and yelling, and it was the complete opposite. Like, there were different stores and like little businesses from the community, and they were bringing like water and food and pizza, and like they had cornhole, they had different games for kids, they had like hula hoops, they had shelters and all this stuff. Like, the community was 100% like behind these miners.
Going on strike is never easy. The odds are always going to be stacked against you. But these miners are strong people, and they're going to stand up for what's right.
Well, we'll do what we got to do. We'll do what we got to do. They ain't going to come in here and act like this. Ain't nobody going to act like this. Ain't no reason for it.
Until the government is willing to make coal companies accountable and to step in when they see coal companies being managed the way this coal company was being managed, the miners will always take the hit. They're always the ones who come out on the bottom, and it's not fair, and it's worth going on strike for, and I am glad they're doing that.
And I'm so proud of them. Like, when I talked to them, they had the best energy, and I would just say, keep that up. Like, even if it feels like nothing's going to come of this, and even when you start thinking, like, it's not worth it, I could find another job by now, they're not going to do anything, like, no, forget that. Like, if Jeff Hoops can spend $30 million on a new resort, then he has the money to pay those miners. And I want them to keep that in mind.
This has been Lane Hinton with Berea College News.
Thanks for that, Lane. As of now, the miners are still on strike and show no signs of stopping anytime soon.
As fall festivities are getting underway, CAP, along with other organizations on campus, are starting up the first round of movie nights. As the summer weather comes to a close, Michaela Jackson has more.
As summer's coming to a close, our Berea beloved campus starts to prepare for fall activities such as the upcoming basketball and track season, as well as events such as Hollapalooza and other things. In relation, the Campus Activities Board, known as CAB, is a student-led organization whose mission is to improve the overall student experience in planning different events and programs on campus such as magician acts, music performances, movie nights, homecoming, and much more. CAB kicks off their fall festivities this Friday by showing the notorious horror classic Friday the 13th. We go to our local CAB members for more information.
Hello everyone, my name is Brooke Green.
And I'm Jada Myers.
And we're from Campus Activities Board, also known as CAB.
We want to invite you to the outdoor movie night on Friday the 13th.
This upcoming Friday the 13th, we're going to be on the alumni patio, and we're going to have all types of drinks, food, candy, cookies for you to enjoy while you're watching the movie. This movie is open to all students on campus, so please feel free to bring your friends, any other people that you want to invite to come watch the movie.
So come on down. That's again Friday the 13th from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. See you there.
Following up on several claims from students regarding alleged mistakes from the Financial Aid Office on their student bills, we decided to investigate more about those allegations and find out how some students haven't been negatively affected and why has this happened to them. Our reporter Esteban has more on this issue.
After learning about some of the posts in the Berea Facebook page concerning alleged mistakes by the Office of Financial Aid on student accounts, I decided to investigate and learn more about what some of these affected students have experienced. Two anonymous students reached us and told us what happened to them. They claimed the Office of Financial Aid gave them money in the forms of Pell Grants and scholarships, and after they used it, they were later on informed they had to repay the money they were initially given. In both of these cases, these students had to repay between $1,000 and $1,524. In response to these claims, we reached the Office of Financial Aid to know their perspective about this issue.
My name is Teresa Louder, and I am the Director of Financial Aid here at Berea. It seems like we get credit for a lot more than our office does. For instance, we work closely with student accounts who has issues credits to deposit accounts. And people think that we do charges and like housing, meals, things like that. We do not do those either. So just, we give financial aid, and if there's a correction that needs to be done. I think what you're talking about, what you're referring to, we found that one of my counselors was working on a student's package and found out that all the charges had not gone on the account. So when student accounts went to pick up the credits, they picked it up because it was a credit and it got released. When my counselor found that, he quickly tried to notify the students, and he looked for more students to just give them a heads up, because it wasn't money due them, and they would have known, I believe. We give an award letter, and on there it tells how much students would get back approximately. So I feel like the students would have known that that money wasn't due them. And, the normal recourse is students come in and ask, is this mine? And I don't know if those students did or not. And if for some reason a charge is not there, it could result in the student receiving, like I said, money that they are not due. Okay, so it's very important that students watch their accounts. Mistakes can be made. You know, we're all human, and technology also could make a mistake. A program could not run as believed. And so I would encourage students to check their account a couple times a week. An incorrect charge could get on there, or correct charges. Yeah. Well, if a mistake was made, we have to correct it because we're using federal, state, outside scholarships, and institutional monies. We are bound by regulations that say we can't over-award a student, and over-award is when there's more resources than the student has eligible educational expenses for. It's only accessible by the staff. The students do not have access to manipulate figures. Okay? Any amount that the student, one, is not expecting, or two, knows that is not money, they always need to ask the questions to come in and, why did I get this? It would be nice if you received an unexpected. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we change policies, and it may make students a little more eligible for some grant aid, but we try to notify them either by email or an award letter or a little bit of both. We may say, you've got a new award, look on my Berea. But one should always question any monies that they weren't expecting. And like I say, if there's, we have rules we have to go by. If an error is made, we have to correct the error.
This is Esteban Reina for Berea College News.
It's time again for the Berea Annual Spoon Bread Festival. One of the most anticipated events in Berea, this festival brings crafts, music, community, and of course, spoon bread to Baldwin Street. Our student reporter Jake has more.
Thanks, Ashara. This week, I spoke with the co-chair of the Spoon Bread Festival, as well as several students who have gone in the past, to see what we can look forward to.
Well, this is our 23rd festival. It just came together, I think, to honor the spoon bread that was traditionally and still today prepared at Boone Tavern Hotel as served prior to your dinner when you have dinner up there. And we serve during the festival thousands of servings of spoon bread in the park. They make 400 pans of spoon bread over the weekend. There's a spoon bread eating contest, and I think that's at noon on Saturday. Nope, I'm sorry, at 12:30 on Saturday down in the park. I like everything about the festival. It brings everybody in Berea together. It has something for everyone. The majority of it is free. There's something for small kids. There's something for old folk. There's entertainment all weekend that is free. Some quality entertainment at that. And it brings a lot of folks to Berea, and it really boosts our economy. So I guess if I had a favorite event, it would probably be the car show. I like the old cars on Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jessie Lawson, and I am a junior.
Okay, my name is Ishara Nanyakara. I'm a senior, double majoring in political science and communication.
My name is Arlie Daly. I'm a senior at Berea College. I study psychology. So I've gone the past couple years with a few friends, just kind of going in and looking at the art that's around. Last year I got some tapestries for my apartment and some cute little wizard figurines on geodes, which was really, really cool because I'm all into that fantasy stuff.
I like everything about the Spoon Bread Festival. The food is really good. There's a band that plays. It's made up of professors, but my favorite part about it is the hot air balloons. At night, they send them up into the air, and then they have lights on them, and then in the mornings, they offer rides.
There will be tethered rides for the hot air balloons on Sunday or Saturday morning, if the weather permits. That's all, and we leave that up to the balloonists because we want folks to be safe. Right now we have 259 spaces filled for this year's festival in the park, and it's everything from juried artists to pretty much whatever you can think of that would be at a festival, it'll be there, you know.
I really look forward to all of the fun rides. That's one of my favorite high school memories, is going to all of the rides with my friends. The vendors, there's a lot of different things that you can get from the vendors. They have things like jewelry. There's a lot of jewelry shops, and then there's a lot of like pottery and things like that. And they're all really, really kind, and they're all local, and so they all just really want to sell you all of their homemade things. It's really cool.
Variable in price range, and so for me, I'm more than willing to kind of chuck out a little bit of extra dough, since all of the artists are supposed to be local or just kind of more individual. The tapestries were definitely within my price range, but a few other things were not really.
Just a couple things. One, everything is outside, so it's probably going to be pretty warm, and so dress accordingly to the weather. Also, there are so many great booths where you can buy local crafts made by craftsmen around the city, and so bring some money with you, because there's some really cool things that I'm sure you'll want to buy.
Wear comfortable shoes because it's a big ground and there's a lot of walking sometimes if you want to enjoy the entire thing. And yeah, no specific advice. Make sure you eat. The hot dogs are really good, and just have fun.
Saturday, the day before it ends, is usually the best day, because, you know, if you get there the last day, then some of the vendors have kind of run out of their crafts. But the second day is really the day where all of the fun stuff's really happening. There's usually a talent show, there's music, and yeah, it's a good day.
But if you want the best ability to pick what you want and have the biggest selection, you're going to want to come in on the earliest. I think Friday is the first day of it.
We have a couple of new events this year. We have a photo contest and decorate a spoon contest, and that is actually hosted by and the brainchild of Gallery 123. They're taking the lead on that.
Bring a fan because it's hot. Get your water, hydrate.
I just think the Spoon Bread Festival is a great way for community to come together. It's great for kids and people of all ages. It's a really fun event.
Just encourage everybody to come out to the festival. It's free, it's funny, weekend. Hopefully we have good weather, and enjoy the time at the festival this year.
Just go and support all of our local craftspeople and check it out. It's a really, really fun time.
This is Jake Stinson with Berea College News, signing out.
That was certainly unfortunate, but it looks like that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Ishara.
And I'm Ola Miller. On behalf of Esteban and the rest Berea College News team, have a wonderful weekend.